In this case, I'm going to teach you on the power of the receipt. And many people, they don't know the benefit of the receipt. I'm talking of the receipt that when you purchase something, then you're always given a receipt, written something, or the contents that is here. You are supposed to note. I understand maybe because of time, people say that I don't have time to check a receipt. But if you have the time to purchase things and checking the price, you also have a time to check your receipt. And it's very much important. I've come across people who've been conned through a receipt. I've come across the fake receipt. And if you have the knowledge enough about the receipt, definitely you will know the benefits of having a receipt, and also you can understand easily whether the receipt is a fake or it's original. Now, my point is not there. Do you know that you can get a compensation, or you can be compensated with a little percentage of what you have purchased, especially if you have been employed by the government, for example, and you have been being cut the VAT, all those NHIF, NSSF, and the deduction has been done in your company. There is something that call it VAT, whereby if you feel that there's the way you feel in the KRA, I don't have information clear on how you can feel in the KRA, but you can get compensated of the things of the product that you have purchased. Let's take an example. You purchased a product worth 50,000 Kenya shillings. It means that you can get compensated of the little percentage, yeah, especially if you have been working for the government or you have been working for a certain organization that have been relying on the deduction that you've been doing of your salary. For example, your salary is 50,000 and there have been deductions on NHIF, NSSF and all those things. Then whatever you purchased, there's also a VAT where you fill through the KRA through a certain code, and definitely you can receive a small compensation, not a big percentage, but a small compensation of what you have purchased. People don't know this. People don't know this. You know what? The challenge of us is not being educated about something. Many people are not being educated about the receipt. And what happened, we find ourselves earning and going and purchasing a receipt, but we don't even take time to learn on the context of that is in the receipt. And I'm sure at least 90%, I'm sure at least 90 to 80% of the people, they don't read about what is in the receipt. As long as you have purchased, you don't even compare the price that you have seen in the shelf or in the counter is the same with the price with this written in the receipt. Sometimes it might change, and you can ask, because people being conned. Something is written there, maybe 50 Kenya shillings, and when you come to purchase here through a receipt, it's written 65. 15 shillings got away. So from today, can you start understanding the context in the receipt? I know no one has ever taught us about this one. No one have ever opened a class about how to read a receipt and how to use it, and on the context in the receipt. But in this case, I would give a scenario of how one person got conned because of not bothering about the receipt. I know many customers, or if you are a seller somewhere, if a customer or your clients ask a receipt, you can understand the kind of the client you are serving. You can know the seriousness in that client, and you can know how maybe what kind of a client you are serving. There are other people, even you force them to take the receipt, or even you remind them about the receipt. Excuse me, you have forgot your receipt, and someone said, no, I don't need it, no need of it. That is a dangerous client, unless otherwise. But you know what? It might cost him or her of not receiving a receipt. Everything that you purchase, please ask the receipt and be very keen on checking what is provided in the receipt, especially to the economy of Kenya nowadays. I know so many deductions will be there, but in this case, let's look on the contents that normally provided. Leave alone the date and the bills and all those whatever, the staff people who have served you, the organization of the company that have served you, or the wholesaler, the name of the wholesaler. There also the way you look about the price and the compensation or the VAT of the product that you have purchased. In this case, if you are good in areas of KRI and whatever, you can know how to fill those code and you get compensated. I'm not sure on how you fill that form, but you can get compensated. This is through an experience of my one of my friends who showed me this one, that you can get paid or you can get a small percentage or compensation when you have a receipt, and especially you have been employed by the government or organization, any organization, and at the end of the month they normally deduct you somewhere or something. And this one happens if you have a KRI PIN. If you don't have a KRI PIN, you cannot ask any demand on this receipt. So you have to note that. Now, there is this scenario of a man who purchased products, and this customer is a customer who never bother about a receipt. He purchased a product of worthy 100,000 Kenya shillings, and this was in a supermarket, and he never bothered about the receipt. The more you purchase, the more the long receipt comes. So he never bothered about it. And someone who was behind, whom he didn't even bother to know who he is, picked that receipt, and this man was a con man. He picked that receipt and hid it. Then the guy with his shoppings, he just took his products and goods, and those attendants helped him to take to his car. And guess what? This man behind who took the receipt decided to con this man. When he was approaching the car, he shouted that is my, it was a long distance from where he was purchasing. So he followed him backside, until when he was approaching his car, he said, that is my shopping. And the man who purchased it, he said, are you crazy? This is my shopping. Even, I've come right now from the shopping mall, I've purchased all this. Even the change, you can see the change. But the guy insisted that this is my shopping and this is my I purchased, I left somewhere and you are stealing. He make crowd, people comes across and wanted to listen, what is wrong with these guys? What are you asking each other? And the guy keep insisting, these are my goods. No, I have purchased. And the guy used to say this, are you crazy? Or you need money, I help you, or what's the problem with you? And the guy, there was that big commotion, and the guy was asked to give out the receipt. He said, no, I didn't even bother about the receipt. I left it there. I don't need receipt because I'm the one who purchased. I don't need the receipt. Why do I have to take a receipt? And the guy from behind, he took his receipt and said, this is the receipt of my goods, I've purchased, and you are the one who, and people, do you know what they did? They fall on the person who had the receipt. They say, you are the right. They supported the person who had the receipt. And the guy was beaten up. You are stealing. How comes you are stealing? You have even a car and you are stealing the budget. You can understand this with my little language, or you don't understand? The guy was beaten up and he lost a lot of money. He lost a lot of budgets. He lost a lot of goods. because of not having a receipt. He forget about it, he never even bother about it. The guy who was behind, he came, he picked a receipt, he hid, and then he go after him, demanding that the things that he have bought belong to him. And because he had no receipt, he had no even evidence, even going back to the supermarket or going back to where he have bought, people never have that time for him to go back to where he was. He was purchasing, you know. People are dealing with the situation in the moment. He was just asked a simple question: where is your receipt? Period. Nothing else. And he was not able to give out the receipt. So understand the power of the receipt. I know this. Maybe there are those people who know more about the receipt. Well and good. Educate your friends, educate your people, educate your children on the benefits of having a receipt. See you in the next.